Hey friends, and welcome to the first inaugural episode of Disney Dose. My name is Jonathan. I'm a writer and lover of storytelling and a huge Disney fan.
And I'm Ashley May. I work in film and TV events here in Los Angeles, and I have been a fan of Disney my entire life. I even had a past
Yes,
growing
you did.
up.
You were Southern California. So jealous. You grew up just going on the weekend. Like, what
I
is that
know.
like?
I know.
So fun, so fun. And we are Disney Dose. But today, we're not just Disney Dose.
We're Disney Trace.
This is our son, our dog son, Copper. Yes, also named after the Disney character Copper. And we just love him. Sometimes he'll come in and out, but he doesn't really talk much, but we love having him.
Yeah, no, he doesn't contribute much to this podcast or to Rent, so
He's really cute, though.
he's really cute.
Well, today, this is a really fun topic. It's kind of a strange opener for this podcast that wants to cover Disney news, Disney rumors, or we can talk it out. But Comic-Con was this weekend, and we said, you know what, we just got to dive right in because Marvel had a huge panel last night, the 2024 Comic-Con, and crazy news. But I'll tell you what, they really just covered a handful of movies and gave a huge twist, or I guess it gave us a big reveal on the future of especially the Avengers movies coming up.
Yeah.
So, I'll just say for myself, huge Marvel fan as well. As Disney purchased Marvel, that did, I think, influence or at least my interest. But seeing how the storytelling has been woven through the Infinity Saga and now the Multiverse Saga, even though there's been some like missteps maybe over the past few years. But of course, Deadpool Wolverine was fantastic this weekend.
Oh my gosh, we loved it.
We loved it, and just gets us pumped, right, about the next phases in all these different movies.
You know, Ryan Reynolds said as the Marvel title card was playing, doesn't that theme song just get you pumped, get you hyped?
It's true. And he was like
Yes,
coming on to
Ryan,
it. Man,
it
I want to
does.
see it again. It was so good. But today we want to cover briefly the big announcements, or at least what they gave us, what they're telling us about these films coming up and the direction that Kevin Feige kind of slated out. Because of course D23 is around the corner. Well, maybe we'll get some more announcements, and we have a video on that coming out soon. But let's stay with San Diego Comic-Con. So the panel opened up with Deadpool. It's really a celebration of Deadpool Wolverine. They did the Madonna song from the movie.
With a choir, a
with
gospel
with
choir.
a gospel
I love it.
choir on stage.
Looking like ketchup and mustard up
It
there.
was so great. And they had like thousands, I'm exaggerating, but hundreds of Deadpools, different Deadpools coming through the audience on stilts. It was bananas. So I think just a big celebration over that movie, especially they made a big deal over the closure of the 20th Century Fox
I know.
X-Men universe. Like
Yeah.
I was getting emotional even
Those
like watching
legacy
it
credits.
in Deadpool Wolverine, and during Comic-Con they stress this is like the end of an era
Yeah.
as it integrates with the rest of the MCU. So
Yeah.
really cool that they celebrated that. But of course, diving in, Kevin Feige comes up on stage, and we got the movie slate. We know the movies that are coming up. So they skipped over Agatha all along. I think they like maybe mentioned it. Maybe we got something
But I think
there.
I got the sense overall that they really are going to dive into their series, Disney
Yes.
Plus series at D23.
Yes, you do get that sense. And hopefully, I mean, those panels at D23 can go much longer. This one was like, I think 45 minutes, something like that. So you have Kevin Feige on stage. We dive into the first kind of big movie that's next, which is Captain America 4, Captain America Brave New World. That sees Falcon, Sam Wilson, returning now fully integrated as Captain America following the Falcon Winter Soldier series. And you have Harrison Ford as Thaddeus Ross, replacing William Hurt as in that character. And what do you think? We saw the trailer, Red Hulk. Are you excited about that?
Oh, I'm stoked. I loved when Kevin Feige said at Comic-Con, on the Comic-Con stage, he was like, the nerd in me is freaking out that Harrison Ford just said
Jeez.
adamantium.
Yes. And what's kind of fun, they brought the cast out, of course, and kind of described what the movie, the style of it's going to be in the tone of Captain America Winter Soldier. Also, maybe what you can kind of include Civil War in that, where political thriller. There's a sort of dark undertone to it. But we have what's cool with this movie in particular is I think there's gonna be some surprises, like in Deadpool and Wolverine as well.
Absolutely.
Definitely some surprises. We know that Tim Blake Nelson is returning as the leader which is an just interesting character. I know, an iconic one in the comics, but we haven't seen Tim Blake Nelson in this role since the Edward Norton Hulk movie.
Crazy.
So that's 2000. If Iron Man came out 2008, it was 2009, right? Or maybe it was earlier than that. I don't even know. Something like that. So it's been a while. It's been a long, long time. But now he's returning into this role. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
I love Tim Blake Nelson. He was in a great Oscar-nominated short. I know this is a random side quest we're going on together, but he was in a great Oscar-nominated animated short this past Oscar season called The 95 Senses.
That's right.
Just do yourself a favor, look it up. It was actually directed by Jared and Jerusha Hess, who directed Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
It's so good. Take a side quest. It's like 15 minutes max, maybe even less.
So true.
It'll get your tear ducts moving.
He's a great actor. I'm excited just to see him in this role and to see kind of what comes of all of this. I do think this is going to thread into the next movie that comes out with Thunderbolts, where we do know that Thaddeus Ross wants to bring Captain America and establish him as like a military part of their military.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time out. I know that on stage, Kevin Feige was like, oh, the Thunderbolts, this is what this movie is called, but Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. And he just said over 85 years of comic book history,
yes,
they just used the same name a couple times.
Yes.
Is that a red herring?
That's a
there
great
like
question.
A real connection
I
there?
think I see Kevin Feige trying to shut down additional rumors. He's like, listen, I see you could think it's a red herring. It really isn't. That's
so there really is no connection there?
I think so. I think that's what he's really saying, is that it's just a title, but we have that asterisk next to the name. So we'll get to that in a second. Another thing with Captain America Brave New World, Giancarlo Esposito.
Sidewinder?
Yes, he's Sidewinder. He announced he's Sidewinder. He's basically the king of Serpent Society. I'll be honest, I don't know all about that storyline, but they kind of teased that story in the initial Marvel slate for Phase 3, I believe, because Captain America Civil War, they teased the title Serpent Society for a moment and then switched it to Civil War. It was a red herring, or, just to throw people off. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly how it's going to factor in. I have a feeling Giancarlo Esposito is going to be moving forward, maybe in Armor Wars or something.
I would be really disappointed if it was just a one-off and he died in this movie, because he's such a great actor.
He is.
I think, and didn't he mention it was kind of fan casted?
I guess, and I think there's been a few, because I also saw stuff with him in Doctor Doom as well. He would even also be great in that role. One thing I am really excited about, though, at the end of Eternals, the Eternals movie, we saw that giant celestial, right?
Yes.
Coming up out of the ocean.
Yes.
And you saw the reaching hand. We were wondering, when is this going to come back? The celestial, it's this giant thing that happened in this global news, so we must see something about it. Mm-hmm. And so in Captain America Brave New World, we're going to return to that. They're calling it Celestial Island, is what Harrison Ford's President Ross refers to it as.
And they're going to be made out of adamantium?
Yeah, so they're mining adamantium out of this
celestial
thing coming out of the ocean. So and I guess that's part of the story of sharing resources, maybe,
boy.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Are they going to sharing resources? A story about sharing resources across the world.
I know.
I can't imagine it's going to go well. So are they going to project World War III in this?
World War Hulk in this? No, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I'm just really excited for a grounded Marvel movie. We've been all over with the multiverse and all this stuff, but to have something like grounded, showing us what's going on Earth, like normal Earth.
No, I was just talking to you earlier this week. I was like, I kind of miss our Marvel home base.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where that was stemming from, but I think you just nailed it. Like a really grounded movie, because this Multiverse Saga has been all over the place, and you kind of just have to grab on and hold on, and they're going to take you on a wild ride. And listen, I can get with it. I've loved the Multiverse Saga, but something about this home base the Captain America storyline is so grounded in reality. It does kind of feel like a nice refresher of the palate.
I totally agree. I think it's going to be a great movie, something to reset. And I think it makes the bigger stuff mean more when you have like something grounded at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you like when you saw Captain America, the movies, the Thor movies kind of like were more larger than life because we get a place where we can recognize something familiar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Where we can touch grass.
touch some grass. Captain America. Okay. The next movie that they brought out, so that cast leaves, they bring out the cast of the Thunderbolts. So this is essentially Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Oh my God, I'm stoked.
It's stacked with a cast of Red Guardian. You have David Harbour up there. You have the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes up there. You have Florence Pugh, Yelena
Belova.
Yes.
Who got a really nice shout out from Sebastian Stan. I hope it wasn't just him like trying to fill the space.
Yes.
But he really did pay her a nice compliment about her performance really being a standout in this.
Yeah.
And I mean, I trust it. She's an incredible actress.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and her role that's kind of like orchestrating all this stuff behind the scenes, building this team, making a name for herself. So I think this is great, and especially as a follow-up to Captain America 4 to show us like what's the world stage look like with superheroes and the Marvel characters. We also get was it Ghost from Ant-Man?
Ava. Ava's character.
Yeah, which crazy.
Is she in the comics?
Oh yeah, but
I mean, like in the Thunderbolt sense.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure she may have been part of the team at some point. But yeah, the fact that it was in Ant-Man and the Wasp back in Phase 3 of Marvel, and they're bringing her back. She has a great power set with her being able to like glitch through. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, how it all fits, how it makes sense bringing her back. Besides the fact that it's like, oh, she has a cool power set. So I don't know. I almost forgot about Wyatt Russell, the U.S. agent from Falcon and the Winter Soldier series.
Yeah.
I know people love to hate him. I loved him in that role because he played it in such a way where it's like, that's just a guy pushing.
Yeah, he did his job.
He did his job.
We freaking hate him.
You hated him.
He first came on the scene for me in that Black Mirror episode of Playtest.
Oh my gosh.
I've loved him ever since. Also, I love that little casting move when he was in that recent Monsters show, Godzilla Monsters show.
Oh, Monarch?
Yes, with his dad. He played a younger version of Kurt Russell. I love it. I can get behind that type of casting. Yeah. I loved it.
That type of like nepotism I'm okay with. Yeah. You can cast his son. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, nepotism, schmepotism, I don't know.
Really? Okay.
I am not a nepo baby. I freaking wish I was.
That's so funny.
But
I'm excited for I'm excited for Thunderbolts. Finally find out what that asterisk is. Because Kevin Feige was on the stage and he even like teased, like, should we reveal the asterisk? No, you got to watch the movie.
Listen, I think the asterisk really is not going to be that big of a deal. I think it's just a little way to like poke the bear of the fandom just to get us,
the bear's growling. Spinning. We want to know.
Yeah, and all of us like debating. I think it's going to be similar to the question mark at the end of this season's Love Island USA when it said the end question mark. I think it's just to get us to like.
I do see a 1-for-1 comparison between Love Island and Thunderbolts. Yep. I see a 1-for-1.
Yep.
Yeah. That's cool. So I think he even said you have to watch the movie. So it's an interesting thing. We'll have to live with this asterisk until the movie comes out. But does the asterisk mean the title is going to change, or the title means something else? Are they the Thunderbolts, or are they the Dark Avengers? Are they the Dark Avengers?
Ooh.
Thaddeus Ross, he says in the trailer for Captain America, he's like, I want to bring Captain America back in. There's all this talk that they want to make Avengers a military, an arm of the military or something. I don't know. Dark Avengers. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is building an Avengers team. It's not like they want to get rid of the name. Avengers are a big deal. People know about the Avengers.
She's a little shady.
Yeah. So it's cool.
Miss Valentina.
So we will see. But very cool. So Thunderbolts, the second movie there. The next movie here is so exciting. Okay? So exciting. Fantastic Four. Okay? So totally understand. This is it's the third time really tackling this, but the first time from Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, Fantastic Four is the first family, one of the longest legacies within the Marvel comics. You have Mr. Fantastic, super stretchy, Miss Fantastic, Sue Storm, of course, who can turn invisible, Johnny Storm, and the Thing. And they brought the cast out. They are shooting on Tuesday. So they literally just did this, and they were flying back onto set to start shooting on Tuesday, which is just so exciting.
I love the love for the fans and commitment. I mean, that jet lag is going to hit hard today.
It's true. But what's cool, I think, about this, we're in the Multiverse Saga, of course. So it looks like this movie, from what they're sharing, it's this 60s era retro future city that they're in the 60s. And they are, they're a team already. They're working in the Baxter building. They're living their life. And we're going to see a lot of pop culture thing, the three men in the team are on a dating show. It's very just fun in 60s and a blast. But
behind door number 3.
Exactly. Yeah. Bachelor number 1, Bachelor number 2. So,
oh my gosh, with those long, Bob Barker microphones.
Totally. The long ones.
Yeah.
But we also know Galactus is in this film, and this villain, you may not know who Galactus is. He is the devourer of worlds. So he literally eats a universe whole. He's huge.
Like Holio? Like that game Holio on your phone?
Wow. True? Holio.
Marvel, Holio crossover. You gotta do some branding here.
That's true. Galactus is a huge character, and I do think from the way things are placed here, Galactus will probably end their universe, and for them to join the universe we know, the
616?
616, the universe we're a part of.
Oh.
So they will.
So wait. So this Fantastic Four is not the 616 Fantastic Four?
No.
Oh.
It is. It's in a different universe, an alternate retro future 60s. And so Reed Richards does a lot of research in multiverse travel. Yeah. And so, of course, I think it'll be like a last-ditch effort to survive. They escape their universe, perhaps as it's being devoured by Galactus. Okay. We will see.
Okay.
But love the casting here. Yeah. What you hear most about the four of them is they really are leaning into the family dynamic between the four of them. And I think it's just going to bring a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Great characters. You get an optimistic hero leader like Captain America, a man out of his own time, similar to how Captain America was out of the 40s, brought to the present. We're going to get Reed Richards and this whole cast out of the 60s brought to this present time. So I think they're going to add a whole new flavor, which is what Marvel, that's when it's best, when you have this team up of different flavors and how are they going to interact with each other? So excited for that.
I will say I am not the biggest fan of these villains that just want to destroy the world. Yeah. Eat the world.
Yeah. He's hungry.
He's a hungry boy.
He's hungry.
Hungry
Galactus hungry.
But I trust because I'm really excited for this.
Yeah.
For the first family of Marvel. I'm whatever about the name.
Oh, the title. First Steps.
Are they going to have a baby?
I love that. I'm sorry.
No, are they going to have a baby Jack?
No, I love that. I think I totally get what you're saying. I do think Reed and Sue eventually do have a child together. I don't think this is that movie. I think First Steps is implying NASA space exploration, small step for man.
Oh, why didn't they call it Small Step? That doesn't hit.
It doesn't hit as much.
No.
First Step.
Oh, like the fake moon landing. That was in the 60s. Or the 50s?
The fake one.
Sorry. The real moon landing.
Wow. There is that movie that's
I know. We got to see Fly Me to the Moon.
I know.
I do kind of want to see it. I don't know if I need to see it in theaters.
Wow, I really want to see that. Or not at all.
It's an Apple movie. It's going to be playing on Apple TV Plus.
Okay.
Or whatever they're streaming.
All right.
But that was in the 60s, right?
Yes. We went to the moon. In 1969, not 1970, but a year sooner. Even Stevens. You guys know it. If there's a millennial audience in the background to this, you guys know that song. And yes, we went to the moon in 1969. So yes, all of the momentum, all of the wonder of space travel, NASA, all of that. Fantastic Four, first steps, be there next year. All right. This is where it gets into really interesting territory. We don't know much about this. Of course, with Jonathan Majors' exit out of the MCU and all of that stuff that happened,
crazy.
We don't know if we're getting a new Kang. If we're gonna, I think it'll get recast to close out his story. Or I kind of feel like Loki season 2 closed out his story.
I agree. I think they're collectively just like,
yeah. I think they could. I
I
do think there should be something said or some sort of plot thing that acknowledges that Kang is gone, but or something behind it, and it could be what we're about to talk about right now. But we don't know if Kang is getting recast. Probably likely. I don't know. But probably going to go into the background based on what we found out yesterday. So first of all, the Avengers 5 and 6. We knew those two films were going to anchor the end of the Multiverse Saga. And we knew that Avengers 6 was going to end with Secret Wars, the event comic. Have it sitting right over here, somewhere over here. The event comic that took all the Marvel universes, brought them together to Battle World, especially in the Jonathan Hickman version, especially. Secret Wars is a huge Marvel event. So we knew that was going to end the Multiverse Saga. Kang Dynasty was going to be the Avengers film before that, but now that Kang is fading in the background, big question is, what is that film? So they brought out, with big pomp and circumstance, the Russo brothers, okay? So the Russo brothers are locked in for Avengers 5 and Avengers 6. They said, and they even remarked about their comments after Endgame saying, we thought this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. They said, if we were to get brought back, it would be for this event comic that inspired us from the very beginning. They said Secret Wars was what started it all for us, for our love of comics. So they said that would be the story. So that's what they're doing. But they said, and this is where it gets cry. All right? They said that to do Secret Wars correctly, they needed to introduce a very vital character. And one character that is core to the Marvel lore, might be one of the, they said, the most important Marvel character. But yes, one of the most important and one of the most complicated, complex, interesting characters in Marvel. And this was the villain of the Jonathan Hickman version of Secret Wars. So we can start to see the connections here. And in that moment on stage, the lights go dark, the screen goes dark, and all of these people in cloaks, they're cloaked up, wearing silver masks on their face, come onto the stage and just line up. It's a bunch of Dooms, Dr. Doom, back to back to back. Okay. So they say, Anthony Russo, he's talking about Dr. Doom coming to the MCU, one of the most complicated characters, Victor Von Doom. He's iconic, and to bring this character to life, they would need the greatest actor of all time. And of course, the audience is starting to be like, first of all, how can you, if it's a new character, how can you just say best actor of all time?
Cage?
Oh,
that's where my mind went.
And they said we'll need the greatest actor of all time. Crowd disperses. One Doom is in all green, steps up, takes the mask off, and it's Robert Downey Jr. Okay?
Daddy's home.
So, obviously, tons of why questions just pop up right when you see that, okay? Or like, why specifically Tony Stark? I would say this. I will personally be a little disappointed as of right now. You just
said why specifically Tony Stark. Did you mean to say Robert Downey Jr.?
Well, why Robert Downey Jr., who is our Tony Stark?
Who is our Tony Stark?
Yeah. I would say this. There's the optics of this is Marvel's in trouble. Marvel has made some movies, especially 2023, not so good. And so we need to bring Papa home. We need to bring Daddy home to come make things right. Okay? That's the optics of it. I think there's obviously something way more behind the scenes and thematically resonant with this part of the story, especially the multiverse where you have variations of characters, variants of characters where they've made little choices that are different. What if you had a Tony Stark who, instead of made the right decision to redeem himself and to become a superhero, made all the wrong choices? And of course, he has all of the resources at his disposal to do something like that. So it could be that. I would be a little disappointed if it was just Victor Von Doom and he happened to have the face of our Tony Stark, which is a legend in our Marvel universe. I don't like the idea of it just happens to be. I like it if it becomes thematically like our characters now have to face off with with the face of their hero, with the legend of their, and like Thor having to confront, Peter Parker having to confront his, have you thought about that? Having to confront Dr. Doom, and it's the face of his mentor.
Oh my gosh, because Peter Parker, when was the last time Peter Parker saw Tony at his funeral? Well,
yeah, the end battle in Endgame was when he saw him, gave him a hug, and then, of course, Tony dies in that battle. So it would have been that moment. And so, yeah, I think it would just be because of the reverence now that we have for Tony Stark, his face kind of being on our bad guy, almost mocking Tony Stark, I think could be really cool, really resonant and really cool. Yeah. I think for our cinematic universe, especially where we are used to seeing their faces, that's Iron Man.
It's going to be so like meta complicated because it's going to be complicated in the story for our characters.
Yes, it will be.
In their real world.
Yes, it
and
will
it's going to be complicated for us as the audience too.
And that's totally fair.
In our real world.
I actually, that's their uphill climb here, is to make those movies and the explanation of all this be easy.
Yeah. Well,
be good. Like where a general audience can be like, I can totally buy that, and that means something to me.
I was just thinking, yes, you're right, as far as the explaining all this logistically, how this will take place, but just emotionally complicated to watch our hero in the real world.
Yeah.
We love Robert Downey Jr. as the hero of Tony Stark, revere him as such. It will be complicated for us to watch him be the villain.
Totally. And he's going to do such a good job.
Oh, he's a great actor.
He's going to do such a good job.
I don't know if I'm convinced that he'll have like completely different mannerisms or completely different ways of speaking, or his tone, his comedic timing. I can't picture him having a drastically different comedic timing than Tony Stark. Right?
I don't know. So, Doom is stoic. There is a wit to him. He's different though. He's not charming in the Riz factor that Tony Stark has, but he's like a world. But I do think you have that. I think he's going to bring a charisma to it. I think there's going to be some personality. He's going to perform the heck out of it though.
Him to not bring charisma.
It's an accent from what I understand. Like it's this.
What kind of accent?
I mean,
he German.
Latveria. Where is
Latvia?
No. Doom Castle is in, I believe. Am I correct? Hold on.
Tio.
I was correct. It is Latveria. So he's
that like a fake country adjacent to Latvia?
It's a small European nation of Latveria.
Yeah, an Eastern European accent.
It's a fictional country, correct? So Eastern European accent, maybe. But you think of Robert Downey Jr. playing just like a very layered character from a region that has, it's just going to be really good.
No, I love it. We were talking yesterday. It's fine if they pull a Tony Stark variant. And I don't think they would ever, ever, ever touch our Tony Stark.
Like the legacy of that,
Right. And I don't think there should ever, ever be any type of time travel, multiverse, anything that would impact the storyline of our 616 Stark. was wrapped up so beautifully, and I think they know that. I think they acknowledge that.
Yeah.
The Marvel team.
Well, they went to great lengths for Logan to just say, "Hey, audience, that always happens. We're not touching it."
Yeah, yeah, and to see Deadpool decimate his corpse.
Yeah, that's true. That does kind of
I don't
change
think anything
it.
like that would ever happen. Where is Tony's body?
Where is Tony's body? Okay, is it
Because-
outside the Avengers? Did they leave? They didn't leave his body
Because at the
there.
funeral, there's nobody
No,
ever
it's
goes
just
to a
the
grave.
arc.
It's just
the arc reactor floating out.
on his little river or his lake thing.
Is his body? It turned.
Was he
into,
buried in an Iron Man suit? You think?
Wow, Ashley, that's thematically resonant. I've said thematically resonant.
If he was
three
buried,
times.
if he was buried in an
3
Iron Man
times.
suit, which Iron Man suit should he have been buried in?
Oh,
Mach 1 from the cave.
Mark 1, yeah. The silver,
The
the
dink,
tin.
dink, dink.
Yeah.
The one
Or
from that
you
movie.
do the classic red and yellow.
No, I think you should do Mach 1.
Okay. I think it's Mark 1.
Oh.
You British?
Mark?
Mach 1.
Mach 1.
Mach 1.
Mock? It's not mock. Like, this is the first mock up.
I don't think so.
Mark? Why would it be Mark?
You know, Mark.
What is Mark? Is Mark short for something? Mark Cuban. Okay.
Anyways.
Mark 1. The one from the cave.
Yes, from the cave.
Sorry,
and he
Bubba.
gets buried in that. I don't know where Tony Stark's body is. That's a plot
I know,
point.
that's a fun little
I want a
thought.
2-hour movie on where Tony Stark's body
That's
is.
a little thought journey that I enjoyed going down and would
Yeah.
like to keep going down.
Okay. Well, yeah, so that in a nutshell was San Diego Comic-Con, the big reveal being Robert Downey Jr. as
RDJ.
Doctor Doom. I'm very excited about it. It definitely got me more intrigued on, especially, and it always does this, when we get a roadmap, when we're saying we're leading up to this, it gives audiences a grasp on where you want to go with it. And
We have our heading.
yes, here we go. Yeah. So, thank you for joining us in this conversation.
Oh,
No,
we're done.
I think this is it.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. We have D23 predictions coming up
We do.
next. And we're hoping more Marvel news coming up next, especially about the Disney Plus streaming series, which we didn't get nothing really about it. Just
Yeah.
those feature films.
No, there's
Which-
definitely more. They've got some up their sleeves.
And-
for Marvel. There's no way they're gonna have their own Disney Comic Con without a Marvel presence.
Yeah. There is also more movie, like untitled Marvel slate, like extra movie slots
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
So
I was really surprised there was really only 4 represented at
Yeah.
Comic Con.
well, it was those 3 movies in post production and Avengers movies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Well,
So, what do you think in the Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars? Deadpool's going to be in them,
mhm.
correct?
Yes.
You think his breaking of the fourth wall will just happen in these Avengers movies?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yes. So we'll be in different things, and we'll come to jump to Deadpool and what he's doing, and he can totally break the fourth
Could you
wall.
imagine just a big end game moment with
I-
him like turning to camera?
I even think like breaking the fourth wall can be part of the plot. I know that sounds a little bit cray, but it was part of Deadpool Wolverine. I know
Yeah.
some of it was all within the plot, within the void and everything, but in the way that She-Hulk also breaks the fourth wall, and she literally broke through the Disney Plus homepage and went to the writers. I don't know. It could be fun if I don't know how they do it, but if with the Multiverse Saga and how crazy it's gonna get, if they get really meta with it too, that includes our universe as well.
You know,
I don't know.
this is like old news, I know. But we never got our official Marvel recap leading up to Endgame from Michael Pena's character, Luis, from Ant-Man.
Ooh.
And I'm still butthurt about that because so many people said that would be such a great move. And I still want that. I still
Have
think
him
it's
summarize
possible.
the Multiverse Saga because we need someone to do
that'd
it.
be bananas.
We need someone to do
We
it.
need someone to do it. He'd be that meme
Mhm.
from
The Charlie Day meme.
yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's too late. And I would really love that for us. even as like a little Disney Plus special.
Oh, yeah.
Like think of it like a little like 10 minutes. I don't know. Like a special presentation. Just
And he just
little
summarized the whole
something.
thing.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. Well, I am so stoked for this. Thank you all for listening to this breakdown of the Marvel announcements. We'll be back with more with D23. We're going to keep speculating. So as we keep thinking about ideas, we'll keep talking to you guys. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Hey everyone, thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never